Good afternoon and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Madeline Holzer. I'm the Education Events Specialist here at Zahn. I'd like to welcome you today. We're going to be discussing Tech Time with Zahn Dental. Today we have the pleasure of Mr. Razmig Tatoulian. He's the Digital Technical Support Manager at Zahn. Very knowledgeable gentleman is going to be taking us through his presentation today. Just a little bit of housekeeping before we start. If you do have any questions, we should have time towards the end of our presentation for a quick Q&A. Please use the questions tab in your toolbar, and we will be able to address your questions as time allows. And with that, I'll pass it to you, Raz. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Madeline. Thank you for having me on this Tech Time with Zahn Dental. Welcome everybody on behalf of our Zahn Dental family. Welcome to everybody who has joined us, wherever you are in the world. Hopefully you are safe and sound and going through your day as good as it can be. So thank you again for joining us. So today, within this hour of presentation, we will be tackling 10 points which will help you make the right decision basically for your business, future, and for your objectives in order to achieve success in a streamlined fashion. The presentation itself is catered for startup businesses in the dental lab space, existing businesses who are looking to improve their daily operations, with always having digital technology as an aim, or even sometimes merging businesses who are looking to evaluate their full service offerings. As Madeline gave a quick intro, I'm just going to go through a couple of seconds in regards to my background. I am a registered dental technician. I have been since 1999. I joined the Henry Schein Zahn Canada team back in 2012 as a sales and equipment specialist for dental laboratory markets. From there on, I jumped into the North American laboratory division so that I can help the support and the training department to get laboratories from analog towards digital. I do have backgrounds with different various companies like Roland, Amon Gerbach, Dental Wings, 3Shape, VHF, Sims, and back in the day when we were working with WorkNC. I do have a daily responsibility in Canada with Zahn Canada as the National Digital Support Manager. During the presentation, you will see a lot of questions that will fly by within these slides. These questions are basically questions which will help you evaluate, analyze, reflect, and self-appraise your everyday operations. My first slide is pretty simple. It starts off with embracing new technology. And the first word says it all, embrace. When we're in a laboratory environment, we have technology on a daily basis coming our way. Comes in from the door, comes out of the door, and we always have the tendency to be exposed to it. So when we talk about embracing new technology, we're talking about the softwares, the hardwares, as well as the materials. But what do you currently have today? And what is out there? Are you informed? Are you exposed? Are you even interested? Do you have the right solutions today? Are you outsourcing? Do you have the proper software, the equipment to produce what you are outsourcing? And what are my doctors asking? What are my clients asking? Can I provide them with this solution? And this whole comes down to embracing new technology. Throughout these slides, you will also hear about a couple of examples I'm going to throw in parallel to what I live on the support daily calls that we get. For example, when you look at this slide and we're talking about embracing new technology, there's things like outsourcing that we mentioned. Things outsourcing which has a negative effect, maybe stuff like deliveries. How much control do you have on your deliveries for your cases? You can't control the actual fees that are related to deliveries. The compromise in quality. When you outsource, you have no full control of what is coming into your laboratory. You're only basing yourself on the outsourcing approach of your partner laboratory. And also the dreaded remakes. How many times have you had a crown that wasn't to your liking and you needed to remake? So now you're knocking on doors, you're looking for solutions to try to find what's out there and what you can get as a service in order to implement as an offering for your current clientele. So just to recap, embracing new technology is really an attitude that you need to be open-minded to, and just go and get the informations in order to see and balance out what you can do for your immediate offerings. Second point would be choosing the right industry partners. When you choose your industry partner, you need to make sure, as mentioned below, all the right boxes are checked for you. Do they have the complete solution? Solution meaning consultation, education, promotion sometimes, which is really interesting for some individuals. Financing options, the products itself, do they have a full line of products? And what about the training after sales? Do they offer any kind of education, any kind of academy? And once that training is done, if I'm down with a milling problem, do they offer any services or any kind of support plans? And with this, when you choose the right partner, you can gauge your industry partner as well. Gauging industry partner is based on history, longevity, and trust as well. An example of what I have lived through throughout the years is when I was back in the sales division, I was doing calls with laboratories, and a very important example that I can really tie into this slide would be, I walked into a laboratory, the owner was on the internet trying to shop around for the best price for a different variety of products, materials, consumables, etc. And while he was spending hours and hours trying to find the best deal, he was actually just wasting that time in order to get a couple of dollars off for his next purchase. Whereas if he had chosen the right partner for the full complete solution, the added value would have been that he would have actually sat on the bench and been producing instead of trying to negotiate the best price. So again, the wasting of time of all day long online shopping, etc., is a good thing, because if you're saving dollars at the end, it will really pay off. But then again, if you choose the right partner coming into with a full solution, then at that point, you're ready to move forward with your objectives in the future. Next slide would be trust the process. Now, we talked about the attitude of embracing new technology. We talked about also choosing the right partner for yourself and what your existing environment needs. But once you have chosen that partner, you need to trust the process. You need to be 100% certain to choose the right partner again, and trust that they will fulfill their bargain at the end. Together you will succeed, and together you will fail. Hopefully not, but that is what the reality is today. But always having success as an objective, with the right partner, you can move forward. And also, don't forget your past. You can leverage it. There's a wealth of knowledge in the analog dentistry that comes all the way from back in the day all the way towards digital. Use your experience to catapult your future. Implement your expertise and competence in analog and creativity in digital. So once you have your trust in your partner and you have all your specialists in play, you need to move forward with the solution and the complete solution that we talked about the slide before with confidence. One of the things that I have seen when we talk about trusting the process is you walk out of a conversation and you have different distributors that you deal with for different purchases, but you're also jumping in different conversations with different distributors. And when those conversations end and you balance it out, you need to compare apples to apples. So it's only fair for yourself and the competitors, as well as the distributors, to balance out that conversation comparing with the right tools. Make the decision for yourself. What does this mean? This means that you will focus solely on what you and your business needs. Do not focus on the competition and make your decisions based on the competition. Focus on what you need. Focus on what you would want to learn. Know your strengths and know your weaknesses. Research your options and become informed. Discuss with trusted members of your team. You can come up to a solutional approach. However, you can also get that extra bump of confidence when you discuss with your teammates. Make logical purchases that grow your business. Don't overdo your purchases. Really go to the guts of what your business needs and what you're aiming for. And also learn, try, and diagnose. So learning is one of the key components of success path. So you need to try and you need to diagnose as well in order to learn. Sometimes we jump in a conversation and get a phone call and we talk about an equipment that a laboratory has purchased. And when we actually dissect the situation, we get the comment of, I only used it for training. I did not use it afterwards. And I only used it because there was a big buzz about that equipment or that piece of technology. Since my competition was offering, I went ahead and I bought it. Well, this is a perfect example of not focusing in on the competition and really focusing on what you can offer as added value within your dental laboratory and dental clinic community. Next point would be to surround yourself with the right team. On the right side, you will see a bunch of questions. Does your internal team buy into your vision? Does your team really believe where you're moving forward to? Does your team really buy in to your focus and your objectives? Are you pulling in the same direction? And what about the trust? Do your employees trust you? Have you empowered them? Do your external team agree? Does your accountant advise your major purchases? Team does not only reflect on being a leader in your environment as well as a boss or even a manager and having a team as your employees. There's an external team as well behind all this success. External team like your accountants, like your bank advisor, your brokers, whether it's insurance broker, whether it's your real estate broker that gave you the opportunity to purchase your real estate for your lab or your clinic. These are all external team members, but you need to reflect on what does your internal and external team focus on? Are they buying into your vision? Does your industry partner support your goals? If you decide to go with a full solution partner in your industry, is that partner supporting your goals? Are they providing you with the right products? Do they advise you as a partner and not only as a sales specialist? And also, have you done your return on investment scenarios with your partner? So all these questions, like I mentioned before at the beginning, these questions will help you reflect, analyze, and self-appraise also at the end. And these questions are very basic questions that come from everyday experience throughout the industry. An example that I can give you is, as an owner, you are too involved in your production on a daily basis and have the tendency to push aside important layers of business, like we mentioned, accounting, investing, brokerage, all kinds of layers of business that are important and integral to your success. However, you're always pushing away because you can always do it tomorrow. And let me take care of this case today. Now, I also see it in a way where we sometimes are too focused on not losing a client, but never focused enough to retaining that same client. And what about the employee situation? What do you do for your employees? How do you retain your employees? How do you make them happy? Have you asked the question, is it only the salary that makes the employees happy? Is it only the actual benefits that make the employees happy? What do you do for your employees to retain them? It's one thing not to lose clients and employees, but it's another thing also to retain them. So just food for thought in regards to surrounding yourself with the right team. Invest in yourself, your people, and your future. So once you have decided to retain or actually to vamp up your team, you need to invest in yourself and your people. Do you have the right pieces for the right job? You hired and went ahead and built up your team, but did you hire the right employee for that right specific responsibility? Did you evaluate what you're doing currently? What do you want to get better at? You're very good in the analog world and you're aiming for digital today. But which world of the digital are you aiming towards? Are you aiming towards only designing CAD designs and sending it over for milling or printing services? Or you're aiming for the full circle? You're aiming for the full solution. What do you want to expand to? Where do you want to go with this investment? Do you foresee yourself in 5 or 10 years being a full-out digital laboratory? Just ask these simple questions in order to really make that investment your next step. And also, put aside revenue to invest back into your business. Investing back into your business is not only buying consumables and getting those promotions in with equipment. It's also education and training, marketing, hiring, onboarding new individuals, and continuous education. Another example that I can give you in regards to this slide is really taking your time during hiring process. Evaluate the candidates. Evaluate their true capabilities and their capacities of production. Your knowledge has valuable weight in your decision. And also, proper training is very important. Whether you sit down with your new employee and talk about what a certain process consists of, or whether you show them, that's part of training. So you need to invest time as well as your income on the profit and put it back into your business so that you can get these employees the proper training. Today we have multiple sources all across North America and why not globally, where they offer online courses, grants, scholarships, continuing education. One of the key offerings today that we have is the Foundation for Dental Laboratory Technology. And you can always go to their website, www.dentallabfoundation.org, and just choose in the category for their respectful grants and scholarships, online courses, continuing education. And I know a majority of you are very computer savvy, are very comfortable with your phones, with your tablets. So just take a click away, just make a click away and go ahead and check out their website. And there's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of possibilities for every single individual as a candidate. Continuing on with education, the NADL 2021 grants is out there as well. So as you see, we got multiple opportunities with different branded names. So this will be a perfect example of how the industry is leaning towards the importance of continuing education and where the industry is giving away these kind of programs. Laboratory build-out. At Zahn, we do offer design services. So let's recap a bit, half of the slides that we saw. So we talked about really embracing the new technology, and from there on moving forward with choosing the right partner. Once you have decided to your partner, you're leaning towards the trust of that partner as well. And when that trust kicks in and you really let the specialists take the lead on your objectives, make the decision for yourself. Focus on you and focus on yourself, and also surround yourself with the right team. So once you surround yourself with the right team, you're investing in yourself and your people in your future. And then from there on, you do have a plan that you can actually move forward with tangible results. For example, at Zahn, we do offer the laboratory design services. Just like buying a house or building a house, we do the 3D designs, we do the work and furniture design with the vendors, and we render them for presentation purposes, and also we consult different options. We do offer the blueprints for new constructions or existing constructions. So these are added values when you're dealing with, remember, the full solution partner. And from there on, you can actually customize it. You can select your styles and layouts based on the specs, etc. So all this to say that even for design services, we have specialists in play, and we do have vendors working with us on a daily basis to actually move forward and create as well as make your objective reality. So don't forget, this is a journey towards a destination. And during the journey, you need a very streamlined process in order to get towards from point A to point B, and then from C, and so on and so forth. Another point is to be prepared. So once we have that blueprints in, once we do have that setup done in your laboratory space, then we're moving forward with your investments, but we need to be prepared. So we're very excited that you have came in and you have purchased your first milling machine and you want to have that operational ASAP. You have a couple of employees that are aligned for training, but are you really physically prepared on the laboratory side? Well, most probably if you dealt with the specialists on the design side, you will be prepared. But then again, we do encounter some situations where we're walking in with a new sale and we do need some specs to be respected. What we offer with our vendors are pre-installation surveys. It's basically a list of the do's and don'ts so that we can prepare that piece of equipment to come in and to take its space without any hiccups or any issues. And also, do you have the correct amount of space? Meaning a sturdy table, electrical availabilities, internet, which is very big these days. So we often get calls about connectivity, and we end up really just funneling towards the internet connection for any kind of behaviors on the servers or the client points that we deal with, as well as the actual switch itself for the internet. Computers are very important today. I mean, your core business is really running on computers. So we do offer specs for computers. Zahn Dental really offers also computer solutions. So we package it up with different solutions, whether it's milling, whether it's design. So have that discussion with your sales specialist, your CAD/CAM specialist, and talk about the preparation before you actually receive your equipment. A very, very important piece of a successful puzzle is to be prepared. Once you have those equipment settled in and everything is already in place, we need to double check on the materials. Materials change the quality of your product. What are your product offerings? Are you training to use them properly? Do you understand how to manage your inventory? Classic phone call that we get on the support side would be, my mill is down, I broke a burr, I need to get this case going, it's due for tomorrow, I can't afford to lose this client, etc. What can you do for me? Well, excuse me, let's find out why the mill broke that burr. Once we diagnose it, once we actually know the reason why, we do have the tendency to ask the client, let's do a trial run as well so that we can confirm the workability. And what do we get? Oh, it was my last burr. I do not have a reserve burr. Well, I can't do much over the phone, but I can surely hustle to get your sales rep on the phone to send you over that extra burr. However, your case is for tomorrow and you had not managed your inventory properly. So you would think that small things like this really don't have any negative effect, but it's really a question of being isolated with a situation where you feel the added value of managing the proper inventory. So again, your materials matter, but most of all, the education as well as the inventory management is really optimal with your success on the materials side. Also, you can get a choice of zirconia, which is not right for you. For example, you would buy a standard zirconia, for example, a white zirconia, but you're looking for more translucency. It only is visible once that zirconia comes out of that sintering oven. So again, really going to the guts of educating yourself and having your sales specialist, having your partner with a full solution approach being beside you during your inventory purchases and management as well. Innovation in equipment and materials. I gotta be honest, there's thousands and thousands of materials out there. There's thousands of equipments out there, and every day there's an innovation coming up. Every day there's a new technology moving forward. It's overwhelming if you're in the industry, but then again, what is your focus? Your focus, it needs to be really on your everyday operation and what you're gonna offer or what are you offering today. So within our portfolio, as you see on the slide here, we do offer multiple solutions from 3D printers all the way to tooth material as well as bonding agents. So just take a couple of seconds here to go through these materials itself. We got the E1 on the 3D printer side as well as the D4K, the wash and cure. And let's take a side conversation talking about the wash and cure. Yesterday, I received a phone call supporting a client again, and the issue was that they were doing a case with 3Shape Model Builder, and their separate printed die was not really fitting perfectly in that particular preparation on the model. So when I started asking certain questions, we realized that, well, their washing and curing process was not really well respected. So what was happening was, once they were taking these models out of their printers, they were doing the wash approach. However, the actual wash liquid composition on the ethanol side was really off. And they were also not being patient enough to do the full cycle of wash. So they were taking these models out, and micro residues on the bottom of those openings were accumulated. When micro residues get accumulated over there, that's your way in for your die. So they were simply just pushing in that die thinking that it was a tension characteristic, but they were really pushing away those materials that were accumulated, hence the variation of a couple of microns on the rotation side and also on the vertical side. So these are the one-offs that can have a negative effect on your everyday operation. So when you're walking forward, when you're leaning forward with an investment on your innovation and equipment, really understand what you have invested in and try to respect the manufacturer's protocol as well as the material itself, and try to understand the material itself, how it will react with these equipments. So innovation is great, and investing in equipment is even better. But then again, you need to respect also the manufacturer's suggestive approaches in order to get that equipment and material to its maximum performance level. Industry presence. What is your industry presence today? How do you build your presence? What platforms are you using? What is your feedback? Do you talk about, so you've done a case, you call up your client and you ask for a feedback, or you assume that no call is good enough for you? What are you doing to get that feedback? What type of lab are you? Do you categorize yourself as a high aesthetic lab? Do you categorize yourself as a production lab? Do you actually know what your strengths are? And do you provide insight? Do you comment positively, for example? What makes your revenue streams? Are you the expert in your area? What are you expert in this industry? What is your best practice for your dental laboratory? And do you share your best practice? Do you share these informations with your colleagues? Are you part of a local community of dental laboratories where you're on a study club, etc.? And what's your digital focus? Is your digital focus integrated in your workflow? And on the right side, it's a very interesting couple of liners. We do talk about imagination when we're talking about dental technology. We talk about creativity, innovation, patience, our objective, the support after sales, continuing education, and building the right team. But right in the middle is the word attitude. We need to be on a positive attitude. We need to embrace, we need to surround ourselves with the right people. We need to invest in our trust. We need to trust the right partner. We need to move forward and trust our right specialists. And also, we need to make the right decision based on our own business, really focus our energy on our own business instead of our competition. It's good and healthy to know the competition, but do not focus your decisions based on your competition. Focus on your strengths, know your weaknesses, and then move forward with your investment. And also don't forget to share. Share on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you can to share your success stories or share your concerns. Just brag about it. Just talk about it. Join your social media groups. There's specialists today who are social media specialists, which offers services. You can actually invest in these individuals and these individuals' services so that they can actually get you the platform that you deserve on social media. And you need to collaborate with others in your field, show pictures of full arches that you have done, new digital dentures that you have done as well. Whatever you feel that you are proud of, just sell yourself. And it's okay to do so. It's okay to share your stories, because somewhere someone will see and will compliment, and it will give you that bump in your confidence, and it will give you the added value. And with social media today, news travels instantly. And when it travels instantly, feedbacks come in instantly as well. So you can be in a situation where one of your clients had already talked about your laboratory. However, that second individual was thinking, when will this opportunity come? And sees, boom, a pop-up of your Instagram post of a full arch with gingival reproduction that you have done, that you just shared, and they like what they see. They reach out to you via Instagram, instant message, etc. And then from there on starts a conversation, and you just got a new client because of your Instagram profile. So don't be afraid, share your information, share your success stories. And if you're not comfortable with this, go ahead and just pick up the phone, talk to a social media platform specialist, and they will come in and they will do all these things for you. And really, what is it about? It's about buying in and going all in with your objective. You need to invest, whether it's monetary value, whether it's patience value, whether it's invest in people, invest in education. You need to manage also that investment. You need to learn what is out there to learn with programs like the educational program that we saw, with the foundations, with the grants as well. You need to implement what you have learned. You need to move forward, and you need to really execute what you have learned. And then from there on, once you start being repetitive with your implementation, you can master what you have actually built up all the way to your implementation. And then from there on, go ahead and boast about it. Just talk about it and brag about it. And it's good. It's all good because, you know, you have invested all these things and you came to a certain level where you're succeeding. And you're succeeding because you kept it basic. You succeeded because all your points were aligned. Everything was aligned properly. Your decisions, your reflections were made. You have made the right choice. You have chosen the right partner, and everything went towards implementation and execution. And you're okay to boast. So on this, I really am thankful that you gave me the opportunity to just share these points. I think these are basic points that go a long way. You can just take these questions so that you can reflect. You can use these questions for your employees, for your internal and external teams. But please, 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 just reflect on your today's business, make the right choice for yourself, and move forward without any doubt, because I know that you will make the right choice with your right partner beside you. Make that footprint a digital one, choose that platform correctly, and I'm certain that you will see the light of success very easily.